Hey everybody, welcome back. Alright, after a little bit of time away, we're gonna just jump into some stuff, but first, I'm going to crack into this delicious looking bottle of something or another that I may or may not have found the other day and looks delicious and potentially intoxicating, so that'll be exciting. Anyway, what's everybody been up to? I know I've been gone for a little while. Not really gone so much as just not doing any of these little let's sit and chats. And I do love me some let's sit and chats almost as much as I love blends of porters and pilsners. Almost. Anyway, we're gonna get a glass of this thing poured here and check it on out. That ain't looking too bad. Let's give her a shot. That's beerlicious. Alright, as you can see, I've switched away from my camera and to a background of random gameplay, and at the time of this recording, I don't know what that gameplay is going to entail. You could be looking at, like, League of Legends right now, you could be looking at, like, StarCraft right now, Command and Conquer, Cinders, though I think that would be distracting, so I probably won't do that one. Could be anything. Anything. Yeah, anything. Oops, I see something on my desktop's gotta get moved. There we go. Done. Alright, so yeah, it's been a little while here, and there are some reasons for that. And some reasons that will probably come a little more into light over the next couple of coming months, trying to make a few little changes here and there, but that's not even important, like, at all. What's important is some of the channel discussions and thought processes that I am going through to try and figure out what can I do to have a little fun and blow off some steam in my meantime. And because I am an extreme narcissist, I record everything that I do so that I can come back and watch myself later, because I am my favorite person to listen to, I guess. That's not really true. It kind of is some days, but that's not really true at this point and for points of this discussion anyway. What I am looking into are things that, like we talked about before, things like the PSAs that I wanted to do, the little spoof PSAs that I wanted to bring onto the channel here. This is a delicious porter and pilsner mix. Good lord. I might have to stock up. But some of the things like the PSAs, they are being written, but they are not being acted upon currently. Because, like I said, anything that I don't have the equipment or time to actually do well, I'm just not going to do, because I think that's a waste of my time. I think it's a waste of your time and viewing energies. You know, if I can make it look like it was designed to be bad because it is bad, so that's kind of the point, then okay, I will do that, but that's not the quality that I'm looking for. And I'm not a big half-assed kind of a person. I don't believe in doing it that way. So I've just been trying to get back to a few basics, play some old games, go through some of my favorite channels on the YouTubes and kind of watch their back catalogs and just have a good time and mellow out, get settled into some new job stuff, whatever, blah, 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 boring. But mostly just get back into some good old-fashioned gaming. I have even gotten away from recording a lot of stuff lately just to get back into playing and have a little bit of fun with it. Been doing a lot of intensive League of Legendsing, as I know so many of you out there are. But I was kind of taking an interesting thought to the way I approach doing some different game reviews and gameplay reviews. I'm looking at a big stable of games that I've been recording bits and pieces of and doing commentary on, and typically what well, I shouldn't lump myself in with anybody that's actually good at reviewing video games at all, but typically what'll happen is they will play a game for no less than half an hour, unless it's really just that bad. But usually closer to 2 or 3 hours of logged play, maybe scoop together a bunch of footage, really get a good informed piece on what they think of the game overall. And then whether they beat it or not, they'll either put a fresh gameplay from the beginning review on it, or they will just kind of talk over all their spliced footage, kind of like what you're seeing right now, but maybe with more of an explanation as to how things go. You think of channels like Total Biscuit or something like that. That guy he's just a good game reviewer, and he goes through things in that 2 to 3 hour learning curve stretch, which is fantastic. That's awesome. It gives you a really good overall feel for a game and whether or not it's something you want to sink your money into, and it's amazing. It's a great way to go. So I love that concept and I love that idea. As a gamer myself who buys a lot of games through things like Humble Bundles and whatnot, or just randomly browsing Steam and going, hey, you know what, that looks pretty cool, let's check that out. I don't like to go check reviews and see what people thought of them. It's not a performance piece of gear. I might have an entirely different experience with something than you did, and I like to just enjoy that. You know, it's like watching every trailer for a movie that you can find and then going to see the movie. We've already seen 3/4 of the movie in the trailer, just bits and pieces, or maybe stuff that hit the editing room floor. Heaven forbid they throw that into a public release trailer. But they do, all the time. So I kind of actually like the idea of just playing, recording, and getting impressions and ideas of things as I go, because it's a learning and fun experience for me, and it's a learning and fun experience for you. So I'd like to start taking some games and breaking them down both ways. Maybe just do a little intro video, have a little fun with it, get my me gaming time in while I'm at it, curse at the computer a whole bunch because I suck and things like that. And then if the game was really worth breaking into, come back and sit down and do a little bit more of a session with it, go into some deeper play, and then come back with some deeper impressions of the game. So I think I'm going to add, and when I say I think I'm going to add, I mean I've already done it, and I just need to get the videos set up to be released. A little segment that I'm going to call, because I searched and nobody is really using this tag, though some fairly similar things. It's just going to be the gameplay virgin. Enough said. If I have pre-played a game for 20 or 30 minutes before I open it up to play it with you, I mean obviously I will do a sound check and things like that, but if I play the game for a couple hours already, it doesn't belong in that segment and session. Then I need to dig in for another hour and a half or two and really get to know the game and just do an actual review of it. So what would be on something like the gameplay virgin? Well, Cinders, for example. I'll throw a link in here somewhere. I just did a walkthrough, not a walkthrough, but just a gameplay starting from scratch. It took about an hour to come to a point of a natural conclusion in the storyline for me to end the video, and I'm sure I didn't get nearly through that game at all, but it was just me reading off the dialogue on the computer and having a good time with the artwork in the game. But you get to see some really cool stuff come out of that. It's choose your own adventure style and have a good time. So being that I chose one very particular path, you don't really understand that there were 5 different options, you know, a bunch of different roads that you could take as you were playing it yourself. So hopefully that's something you see in a video like that, and you can come back and have fun with it that way. Enough on that little section, though. Another thing we are still looking at and working on, like I said, I haven't really been recording anything League of Legends wise. I did have a fun time watching all of the LCS stuff, as I'm sure everybody here did. At least those of you that like League of Legends or that care enough about esports to just want to go and check them out. I'm a huge fan of that field, and I like it when companies like Riot Games are involved in setting it up and promoting it themselves, and really doing a good job, a solid job of it. Whereas you've got things like StarCraft and StarCraft 2 that have always had tournaments that were just, I mean, they're great as small tournaments. But when you bring in Blizzard, like, I don't know if anybody's ever pulled up and looked at a WCS championship bracket, but the thing is bonkers. Blizzard touches that and it goes to pot. So it's really cool to work with checking out a company that is a little more simple-minded. I hate to say it because it's usually a derogatory term that way, but a little more simple-minded in their approach to tournaments, and it's really just, you know, freaking beat everybody else, make your way here, and then beat them too. Awesome. And wear a Teemo hat, or a Rammus hat, or hint at Riot Games, Cho'Gath hat. God, what I'd give for a Cho'Gath hat. Oh, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, so I've been getting away from the recording of that stuff. I'm just all over the place tonight. I've been getting a little away a little bit from recording that type of stuff. But the Legends cast, the Nerdcast LOL stuff is, in fact, coming back, especially as a little more of a cohesive team on our side is coming together. So it might not be strictly commentary, but some actual play stuff and some stream stuff, which is kind of cool. That's not necessarily just solo. So I'm pretty stoked about that, pretty excited about that. You know, there's stuff happening. Everybody's busy. You're busy. You've got to pick and choose what videos and things you want to watch. I have to do the same. Because I'm busy, I have to pick and choose what videos I can record, and I only want to make good ones. And I want things to look nice, and I want them to be polished for you, and I would just want everybody to have a good time. It's all about good times. What the heck are you gaming for if it's not about good times? Yeah. And also drinking delicious black and tan porter and pilsner style beverages. Pardon me. Delicious black and tan porter and pilsner style beverages. But the bottom line here is that we just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy things, and I want you all to enjoy things, and I want to enjoy things with you. And I want you to tell me, hey, there's this really freaking sweet video game, you should check it out, and I want to go and check out that freaking sweet video game. So if anybody wants to throw a game at me that they'd like to see played, or like some thought process or impressions on, hit me up. I'm not a huge fan of just, you know, grabbing AAA titles and going to town. Those are a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, you know, those have gone through a lot of paces, and they aren't necessarily nearly as big a labor of love for their creators as a lot of indie games and things like that are, that I really enjoy, or games that are no longer considered indie, like the League of Legends. It never really was, but it was started very small and promoted itself to a very, very big place, and that's cool. Blizzard Activision started very, very small and promoted themselves to a big, big, big place. So I'd like to continue talking with some different local developers and things like that, just getting their games out there, playing with them, and if I think they suck, I'll tell them I think they suck. But that's just part of the fun, I guess, if you're a narcissistic SOB like myself. But anyway, you all go have fun. Check out some of the other videos on here that maybe are a little less discombobulated than this one, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Just go check some videos out, have a good time. If you're of age, drink some of this porter and pilsner combo. See if you can go find it based on the slight non-label revealing picture that showed up at the beginning of the video. And you all go take care, have a good night, and happy gaming.